Hi, I'm Nichelle Miller, your Mrs. Indiana, American Beauties Plus 2020-2021, and your lead facilitator for Harvest Girls International presents All Girls Matter Self-Esteem Academy. I am so excited to be with you this month and talking to you about self-love. It's going to be such a good workshop. So please grab a pen, grab a notebook, grab your favorite drink and snack, and meet me down in the Glam Studios. Let's go. Hello, gorgeous. Oh, you made it to the Glam Studios. Welcome. Again, I'm Nichelle Miller, and I'm so excited to be here today talking to you about self-love. If it's your first time joining us, welcome. If it is your second or third time, welcome back, and I hope that you brought a friend. Okay, so let's get into this. It's February. Everybody's talking about love. It's Valentine's. It's hearts. It's half-price candy, if you grab that, okay? But what about you? Who's loving you? Are you loving you? That is what this week is all about. So I'm so excited to be here with you this month. You might want to take some notes as we go along, and let's get into it. So let's talk about self-love. What does that even mean? Self. Self is you, okay? That's easy, right? Love is having a strong or constant affection for something. So when you have self-love, you are really having a strong or constant affection for yourself. What does that mean? It means you're taking care of you, okay? So it's easy to love your family, it's easy to love your pets, your brothers and sisters, some of your friends, but sometimes it's a little bit harder to love ourselves. How does that happen? We just put ourselves last. So if you've ever been on an airplane, you've probably heard them say, if something goes wrong on the airplane, first put, your air mask will drop down. Make sure you put your air mask on yourself first, and then worry about the people around you. Why? If you're flying with somebody else, don't you want to make sure they're okay? Absolutely. But if you're not loving you, you can't take care of anyone else. If you pass out, you can't take care of anybody else. If you're not loving you, you can't love anybody else. Okay, that sounds okay. But how does that work if I'm not on an airplane, Miss Nichelle? What are you talking about? All right. So first of all, self-love is not selfish. Sometimes people will say that you're being selfish or you're keeping things for yourself. And sometimes that can be true. But a lot of times we have to take time for ourselves. And when we take time for self-love or self-care, that's not being selfish. It's actually making ourselves better to be better to those around us. Okay? So if you don't truly love you and you don't feel good about you, you can't truly love and feel good about others and how you're interacting with others. So a lot of times we'll find kids or girls or guys, in school or out in the world, and they're just mean. They're just mad at everybody. They're mean all the time. And we've never done anything to them. Sometimes you've never even spoken to this person, and they're just mean to you. They're being a bully. They're just obnoxious. They're rude. And why is that? It can be a couple reasons. One, because someone treated them like that, or because they're not feeling good about themselves. So think about when you wake up and for whatever reason, maybe you didn't sleep good that night, or you have a big test coming up, or you just have a lot going on and you're just kind of grumpy and you're in a kind of mood. And how does that display in the world? How do you treat everyone around you? Are you kind of grumpy to them? Are you kind of like, eh? Have you ever told anybody, get away from me, I'm in a bad mood? That's how the cycle works. So however you're feeling, however you're treating yourself, whoops, my crown pin's crooked here. And that's how you react, and that's what you relay out into the world. Make sense? It's kind of a chain reaction. So if you're feeling yucky, you treat people around you yucky, then they start treating people yucky, or they feel yucky, right? But if you're feeling really good about you or feeling good about yourself that day, it's totally different. So think about a day when you wake up and you feel amazing. Like it's the best day ever. Or maybe it's the first day of school. I used to love the first day of school. Why? Because I had brand new clothes. I had brand new shoes. I had my new backpack and my lunchbox. Yeah, I took my lunch to school. And I was so excited to go and meet all, the new people and see my old friends I hadn't seen all summer. I was hyped up. Like that was the best day ever. And I would wake up early and be downstairs and ready to go. But then by the end of the school year, I wasn't so excited. So we want to keep that excitement, that first day of school excitement, or that new car excitement, or that new toy, or that new whatever excitement in every day, and keep it going. Because when you pay it forward and you're loving on yourself and loving on other people, they love on other people, loves on other people. So it's a big circle. Okay. So really, in order to love ourselves, we have to have a few things. We need a few tools in our toolkit. So just like anybody, like a repairman comes over to fix stuff, he has a toolkit. I'm going to give you a toolkit. Okay. So first of all, you have to be yourself. But who are you? Do you know? So when you introduce yourself, do you say, my name is, or do you say, I am? Because you should be saying, I am. Because however you introduce yourself, however you hear yourself or see yourself, that is your sense of self, your sense of worth. So when I introduce myself, hi, I'm Nichelle Miller. You're Mrs. Indiana. And that's I am, and then my name, because that's who I am. That's who I identify as. And then I'm excited. I'm a go-getter. So who are you? So I am Susan. I am Jada. I am whoever. So I want you to start introducing yourself that way. I want you to own it. I want you to own you and be confident in you. So that's our first step to self-love. Who are you? I am. Say your name. So I want you to try it right now with me. Ready? On the count of 3, you're going to say, I am, and then your name. It's easy, okay? 1, 2, 3. I am. Y'all gonna really sit there and look at me and not do it? Okay, come on. One more time. 1, 2, 3. I am. Better. We got to work on it. So I want you to start doing that. When someone says, hi, who are you? Or hi, what's your name? I want you to, I am, and be really excited about who you are, because you have to know yourself. And yourself is that I am part, okay? Then you need to know what brings you joy. So what makes you happy? What do you like to do? When you don't have anything to do, when no one's telling you to do your chores, when no one's telling you to do homework, when no one's telling you to take care of your brother or sister, no one's telling you to go to work or take the dog for a walk or clean up after the cat, what do you like to do? What brings you joy? And joy is like that true happiness, that thing you're excited to do. So sometimes what brings you joy can be an activity. It can be something like playing a video game. It can be something like playing your favorite sport. It can be hanging out with your friends can bring you joy. Sometimes something that brings you joy is a little more low key. It might be just watching your favorite TV show, reading a book, taking a nap. Sometimes taking a nap brings me joy because I'm just tired and I need a nap, and that's okay. Okay, so what brings you joy? Because I need you to know that, because as we're doing more of self-love and self-care, I need you to pull back on the things that bring you joy. So real quick, hopefully you brought a piece of paper with you today. I want you to just jot down real quick 3 things that bring you joy. I'll share mine while we're here. For me, things that bring me joy: hanging out with my family, watching my favorite TV shows, and usually writing. I love to write. I love to journal. I love to recap my day. I have all these thoughts in my head, and sometimes it brings me joy to just write them all down. So that's why we encourage you ladies to have a journal, because you never know what you need to write down. You can even write down when you're feeling yucky, okay? And when you're feeling good. So what brings you joy? Did you write down your 3 things? Do you need a quick second? Okay, go ahead. I'll give you a second. All right. So hopefully you have 3 written down by now, okay? Now, why is this important? Like I said earlier, when you're loving on you, when you're feeling good and you're giving that out into the world, other people catch it. It's contagious. So your self-love is like your power. It's like your fuel. So think about this, and hopefully this relates to everybody. Have you ever been with your parents, or even your teenagers if you're driving, and your car is almost out of gas, or their car is almost out of gas? What happens if a car runs out of gas? It doesn't run. Won't go anywhere. It'll sputter, die, does nothing. Okay? So when you're not loving on you and when you're not taking care of you, eventually your body will go sputter, nothing. Nothing's going to happen. So your self-care, your self-love, that's your power. And that's your fuel that keeps you going through everything that you do. Okay? So that's why we want to make sure we're filling up your gas tank, your self-love fuel, and keeping you full so that you don't sputter and go. Okay? All right. So, yeah, when you use up all of your power, you can't do your schoolwork, you can't do your sports. You can't hang out with your friends. Your mind is just like, eh. Like it's almost like you're in a dodgeball game and everybody's just throwing all the balls at you and it's just you. You're the last one left in and you're trying to hide and you're trying to catch balls and throw them back and trying to survive. When your self-love's not there and you're empty, you're in the dodgeball game and everything's at you and you can't keep up. You just can't do it. So we have to keep your self-love tank full of fuel so that you are the Wonder Woman that we know you are. So you can fight back in that game. Okay? All right. So, how do you practice self-love? What do you do? What does this mean? I get it. Okay, self, that's me. I am. All right, I figured that out. I figured out what brings me joy. Now, how do I practice self-love, Miss Nichelle? Because I don't have time. I don't have time. I can't. You have to. You have to make time. No matter what age you are, even, our older women, even myself, I'm really bad at this. We have to make time to love ourselves. And that sounds, I don't have time. I got too much to do. You do. And it can be little bitty things. So it can be something as simple as, I'm going to go in my room and close my door and I'm going to read a book for 10 minutes. Or I'm going to go in my room and close my door and I'm going to take a quick little nap. Or I'm going to call my best friend. I didn't see her at school today. I just got to tell her about my day. I have to see how she's doing. She got a new puppy. Anything that brings you joy. Remember we talked about those things that bring you joy? So those things can help you wind down. Now, sometimes the things that bring us joy can also wear us out. I love community service. I love it. Like nothing gives me more joy than being out and helping people and doing stuff and being active. But if I'm doing too much of that and I haven't put any gas in my tank, it feels like dodgeballs. They're all coming at me and I can't keep up. So we have to balance what brings us joy with things that help us relax and rejuvenate and renourish. So sometimes it can be taking a bath. It can be going for a bike ride, anything that just kind of disconnects you. So sometimes I think we've all been there where you get grounded and your parents take your phone and you have to disconnect. You can't Snapchat, you can't TikTok, you can't do anything. You are literally disconnected. It feels like from the world. It feels like forever. Or your parents, say, hey, go to bed, turn the phone off. And you're like, oh, I can't talk to anybody. I can't do anything. That's okay. When you're giving self-love, when you're taking care of you, you have to take that second to disconnect. So it feels like you're disconnecting. Sometimes you have to tell people no. Sometimes somebody will say, hey, you want to go out with us? We're going to go out for dinner and we're going to go hang out and see a movie and we're going to go do this and that. And you really, really, really want to go and you love it and it brings you joy, but you're tired. You're just tired. You had basketball practice, then you had cheerleading practice, then you had track practice, then you had to write a paper, then you had to go do, homework, and then you had to take the dog outside and you're just tired. And so even though that's something that brings you joy, sometimes you have to say no. And that's okay. Why? Because you have to take care of you. We're in the airplane, the mask dropped. We got to put our oxygen on before we can help anybody else, right? Okay. So I want to give you a top 10 of ways to love yourself. You might want to write these down. If not, you can just listen. It's okay. So number 10, don't forget to smile. Well, that sounds silly. Why am I running around smiling? When you smile, have you ever seen somebody smile at you and what do? You usually smile back. Why? You don't know. It just happens. If somebody's smiling, you just start smiling. Have you ever been at school picture day and you're watching the person in front of you get their picture taken and they smile and you just start smiling? You're not even in front of the camera. You're just smiling. You don't know why. Just smile because they're smiling. Don't forget to smile. It's contagious. It makes you feel good and it makes other people feel good. Plus, you look prettier when you smile. So don't forget to smile. Number 9, set boundaries. What's a boundary? You ever play kickball or you play a sport, baseball, and there's bases and, the ball goes out of bounds. Boundaries. We have to set boundaries in our lives. What does that mean, Miss Nichelle? We're talking about self-love. We're not playing a game. Sometimes we have to say no. Now, There's reasons with this. You can't say, if your mom says, hey, go make your bed, you can't say, nope, self-love time. No, mom, sorry. There's things you have to do. We all have responsibilities. But outside of your responsibilities, as far as your chores, your homework, your work, those types of things, you can say no. So like the example of your friends asking you to go hang out and you're really, really tired. It's not happening. You cannot do it. A boundary, say no. Why are you saying no? Because you have to build a little bubble, your little self-care bubble. And you don't want anybody to pop your bubble, okay? Because you want to stay in your little bubble and stay safe. So you have to set boundaries. Okay? Number 8, live gratefully. What does that mean? You have to think about every day what you're grateful for. And some people write this down. I choose to write it in a journal. I started with one thing and then I worked up to 3. You can write down as many things as you're grateful for in a day as you want. You don't have to write them down. You can think about them. For example, right now, we are having a snowstorm in the Midwest. I'm in Indiana, of course. And I'm thankful in my home that we have power and we have food and we're not snowed in. Whereas I have friends who live in Texas or they live in Kentucky or Tennessee and they have no power, they have no water, and some of them are snowed either in or out of their homes. So something that you think may be unimportant or insignificant is something to be grateful for because that may be something someone else doesn't have. Okay? So every day, I want you to think about things that you're grateful for. And you can do this when you wake up. You can wake up and be like, wow, it stormed really bad last night. Or, wow, I get to go to school today and see my friends or whatever. Think of 1 or 2 or 3 things, even more if you want, that you're grateful for, that you're glad that you have. Because, again, those are things that are special to you and someone else may not have them. So live your life gratefully. Okay. Number 7, surround yourself with goodness. What does that mean? Surround yourself with cookies and treats? Wouldn't that be great? Okay, that would be great, but no. Surround yourself with positivity. So if you have negative, grumpy people around you, remember how we talked about attitudes being really contagious? So if you have that negative, yucky, ew, I'm mad, look at me, I'm so mad, around you, it brings you down. It sucks the life out of you. It sucks the fuel out of your power tank of your self-love, right? So we want to surround ourselves with goodness. Does that mean if our friends that are in a bad mood, we're like, oh, I can't be your friend anymore? No, doesn't mean that at all. But for the majority of your time, where are you? Where are you hanging out? Who are you with? What are you surrounding yourself with? When you are watching TV, is it something that makes you feel good or does it bum you out when you're done? If you're reading, is it something that typically makes you feel good or bums you out? So we want to make sure we're surrounding ourselves with goodness. So we keep that good vibe going, that positive. We already woke up and we're smiling. We're saying what we're grateful for. We've set boundaries. We're like, nope, not doing anything I don't want to do today, not doing anything I don't like to do. Only going to do things that are great and make me feel, really terrific inside. So we want to make sure we're surrounding ourselves with that positivity. I lost what number I'm on. Was that 7? Okay, 6. Practice self-compassion. What does that mean? Show yourself grace. Show yourself grace. Every day is not perfect. Every moment is not perfect. There are days when I feel yucky. And I just live in a yucky, funky day. It happens. But I can't beat myself up and say, oh no, you were supposed to be positive all day. Bad you. That doesn't help. So it's the exact same. If somebody were to hurt your feelings and they said, I'm sorry, would you still be mad at them? Typically no, if they're really sorry, okay? So you would forgive them. Same way, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Let yourself have those moments where you may be grumpy. Don't stay there, but it's okay. Just forgive yourself and move on. Okay? Show yourself grace. Number 4. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 6. Okay, 5. Your strengths. Really tune into your strengths. Things that you are good at that make you feel like a rock star, that make you feel like you are Beyonce or whoever. Do them. Those are things that bring you joy. Those are things you're good at. Those are things that are easy. Keep doing those things. That's self-love. Self-love. Like I said, I love community service. Love it, love it, love it. Makes me feel good. I'm going to keep doing that. In the same token, things you're not good at, things that may make you feel like, work on those too. That's the only way you get better. You didn't learn to ride a bike in a day. I didn't. And I've got the knees to show it. You didn't learn to ride a bike on your first try. So you have to keep trying. So work on your strengths and work on the things that are opportunities to be stronger. Keep working on those things. That's how you keep loving yourself. You keep making yourself better. All right. Number 4. This is so important. Stop your negative talk. Stop talking to yourself in a negative way. It's not working. Don't you dare look in that mirror and say, ugh. Or if somebody says, oh, girl, I like your hair. Ugh. Don't you dare do it. You stop it. The way you talk to yourself is so important. You wouldn't let anybody walk up to your little brother or your little sister or your little best friend and be like, ugh, you are so ugly. I don't like you. You would be so mad and ready to fight. So I don't want you talking to yourself like that. I want you to be mad and ready to fight when you talk to yourself like that. Knock it off. When you feel yourself in that, nope, I'm amazing. You flip it around. You stop. So stop the negative self-talk. Number 3, be you. I want you to be unique. You are amazing, girl. There is only one of you. Only one. You are the only you in the whole wide world. There's no one. There may be people that look like you or people that try to look like you, but you are the only you. Keep doing it. Keep being you. Don't try to fit into the mold. We're not made like cookie cutter shapes. You guys know I always say that. So be you. Be unique, be amazing, and love that moment. Number 2, use daily affirmations. What is an affirmation? It's a positive saying that gets you going. Okay, so for example, when you get up in the morning and you're smiling, because you're like, yeah, I woke up, I'm feeling good, going to school. All right, so you're going to walk in that mirror, you're going to look in the mirror. I am amazing. I look good. Oh, I love me some me. Okay, so I want you to create your own affirmation. Now, it has to be something you believe. For example, I'm 5'2". I'm not very tall. My husband is 6 feet tall. So I can't run around and say, I am 6 feet tall, because it's not true. I don't believe it. It's not possible. So make sure it is something that you believe. You have to believe it. And it has to get you going, and it has to be positive. So when you have that negative self-talk, you stop it. Nope, I am amazing. I'm Nichelle, I'm amazing. You are Jada, you're amazing. You are Kristen, you're amazing. You are whatever your name is, you're amazing. All right? And number 1, remember that you are loved. I love you, our group loves you, and I want you to love you. You are so loved, and you are so important, and you are so special. All right, so that was your top 10 ways of how to love yourself. I'm going to leave you with a couple of thoughts. So we talked about affirmations and positive things you can say to yourself. Number 1, I am loved. I am loved. I am so loved. I am loved by me. I am loved by my family. I am loved by my friends. Tell yourself that every day. I am loved. You might have to tell yourself that all day. When somebody's being mean to you, you might have to think, okay, but I am loved. Whatever, I'm loved. Number 2, I'm going to give you a second one. I am confident. I am confident. I belong here. Why? Because I'm loved and I'm amazing. And you're loved and you're amazing. So I want you to say that to yourself. I am confident. And number 3, the most important one of today's session. I love myself. It's so important that you love yourself and that you treat yourself well and that you take care of you, because there's only one you. And you can't love, you can't serve, you can't give, you can't be anything to anybody else if you're not taking care of you and loving you. Why? Because you'll just be in that dodgeball game, getting pelted with those little dodgeballs, those little bitty red ones that hurt. Oh, if you guys haven't played dodgeball with those, you don't know life. It's horrible. So I want you to remember you are loved and you love yourself. So I hope that you enjoyed today's session, all about self-love. I hope that you remember who you are and you start introducing yourself with that confidence. I am. And that power with your name, because you're a powerful, amazing being. I want you to remember that self-love is not selfish. And I want you to remember our top 10. Okay, now that we're wrapping up, a couple of things. One, there's a link below for you to do a quick little survey about today's session. Please do that, okay? Just so that we can have your feedback and maybe a surprise is in store for you. And number two, I don't know if that was one or two I said, please tune in next month for March's session of March to Your Own Drummer. I hope you had a wonderful time with us. I hope that you are going to start practicing self-love and self-care and taking time out for you, because you are the only you there is, and you are so worth the time that you put into yourself. I'm so glad to have you here today. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for tuning in with us. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.